How's it going, everyone? Blue Knight here, and as you guys probably noticed, given how much I've been talking about it since the Astrobot video, I don't know how anyone could have missed it, to be honest, but in case anyone missed it, we recently broke 7,000 subscribers, after being stuck in the 6,000 range for almost exactly 2 years. So, to celebrate this very overdue milestone, I opened up the opportunity for you guys to ask me questions that I will be answering in this video. It's the very least I could do to show my thanks to you guys for helping the channel get to where it is today. Man, it's crazy to think that it's been over 6 years since I started this channel. Crazy how time flies. But I'm also doing this to make up for the last time I announced a Q&A video. You guys sent your questions in, then things got busy, and I had to prioritize other content, so it ultimately got cancelled, and believe me, I've had plenty of them. But before I get to the questions, I do want to bring up a bit of a content update, just so you know what to expect in the coming months. Well, I'm just gonna say it right now, despite Astrobot either coming out very soon or is already out by the time this video goes live, the majority of my focus is going towards Sonic and Shadow Generations content, and given how long it takes for me to get a single video out, it's honestly the best course of action for me, especially with all the info from both Summer Games Fest and Gamescom to go over, which might require reworking the script in places, in the hopes of shortening the video so it's not as long, if not longer, than the Astrobot video. But outside of that, I really don't have that much else going on for content. There are plans, it's just a matter of actually getting them done. Anyways, with that out of the way, I've made you guys wait for way too long, so let's get into the questions. This first one comes from Fun Edits over on YouTube. Congrats, thank you very much. And did you know that there have been leaks for a Patrick Star video game? I have seen the leaked store page, and honestly...
3 days later.
Okay, so the game's been officially announced during the most recent Nintendo Direct, which just so happened to be the same day as the insane Sonic movie free trailer dropping. Are you kidding me? I know it's very unrelated, but... I'm so hyped for this. Anyway, I'm 100% serious when I say this, but this game actually looks good coming from this publisher.
Oh my goodness!
I take it back, SpongeBob looks like Timmy Turner, what the heck's going on here? Heck, even Andude says it looks good. He should know, he's played a pretty good amount of good and bad SpongeBob games. Now, I was originally going to have a long-winded rant about how bad of a game Scrat's Nutty Adventure was, which led to me being cautious about anything coming from this publisher, but I won't. I'll just say that I really wanted to like the Scrat game, but there are aspects that just needed way more time in the oven, that is all I gotta say. But while we're here, let's take a look at the description, release date, and platforms for this game. The Patrick game officially launches on October 4th, 2024. It's releasing on PS4 with a free upgrade to PS5, Xbox One and Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Physical editions are available for pre-order. As for digital pre-orders, the Switch is the only one to have them as of recording this video. Patrick fans, your time has come. And Bikini Bottom is your open world playground. You can skydive with just a parasol or nothing at all, search for buried treasure in the dump, or release the rage in Mrs. Puff's rage room. You know what, that actually makes sense. Given all she's gotta put up with, I understand why she has one. Use almost any item you find, from the reef blower to a paint can, to make the world more Patrick, and take on challenges only Patrick would attempt, set up by SpongeBob, Sandy Cheeks, Mr. Krabs, and more. So become the star of a show, put your silliest ideas into action, and enjoy the physics-based chaos that unfolds all around you. This right here is the short version of the description with a much longer one over on the game's official website. But I'm gonna save that for if I get another opportunity to talk about the game. But an open world, anything goes, physics-based Patrick game actually sounds crazy enough to work, but will it work? I don't know, maybe I can see about getting a review copy and somehow squeeze that into my planned Shadow Generations schedule? The next question comes from Crash is Amazing over on our Discord server. By the way, if you want to join, there's a link in the description below. So the question reads, are you ever going to do any live streams? Well, Here's the thing about doing a live streams, it requires a level of preparation that I unfortunately do not have. For one, I need a PC that's not gonna crash on me for doing the simplest things. I cannot tell you how many times this current laptop has had a meltdown when I'm editing something as simple as my own audio before even putting the visuals on the timeline. So it wouldn't be ideal if I started a stream and then the PC decided to tucker out in 5 minutes. It's not like this every day, but when it's a day it crashes, it tends to crash for the remainder of the day. And it's kinda pathetic. I'll say this, I'm not buying another Hewlett-Packard. The second reason being is I don't have my own dedicated office space, as I have my PC set up in the main room of the house where everything is always happening. And it doesn't do any good to move the setup to a different room, cause my mic can pick up sounds from anywhere in the house. Which isn't a bad thing because it is a quality mic, but it's also the main reason why it takes so long to record videos because I only have roughly 20 minutes of quiet time a day to record any audio. And thirdly, I need a decent capture card in order to have something to stream. Yes, I have a PS5 and a PS4 capable of streaming, but whenever I hook my microphone up to them, I just don't sound right and I do not like it. So, outside of that, all I've got is my PC's built-in capture software, PlayStation Plus, and Steam. And as I just established, my PC is not reliable to do any of that stuff at the moment. Needless to say, there's a bit more to invest into the channel equipment to get where I need it to be for streaming to be possible. The next question comes from RNC Gaming on Twitter. What is your most wanted crossover for Ratchet and Clank? It'd have to be Sonic the Hedgehog, no question. I mean, when you stop to consider just how varied all of these worlds in Ratchet are, you could easily pop Sonic or really any other video game character into any of them, and they would probably work without changing much design-wise. And every single time I see fan art showing the two series together, it just works. Both series even work off their own deeper themes and moments that I would love to see explored in such a crossover. Though if it's a game, Sonic would benefit greatly from having far more facial expressions. I'm talking on the level of Rift Apart. However, for a game to even happen, there is the whole PlayStation exclusivity side of the discussion, because Sony owns the IP, and chances are Insomniac Games would handle the entirety of the development, which sounds awesome, with Sonic Team, of course, overseeing the Sonic aspects of it. Then again, PlayStation is allowing more of their games to go to other platforms, such as Steam and the Nintendo Switch for LEGO Horizon Adventures, so who knows. But Sonic's had his time in the Mario series for such a long time, so I don't think Sega's gonna oppose Sonic appearing in more console-exclusive titles, especially if it has the possibility to eventually arrive on PC, quite literally the only other platform both series coexist on. But I'd also give for an animated short between the two in either the style of Night of the Werehog or Dark Beginnings. That would be awesome. I'd also want to give the spotlight to Spyro because of the Insomniac connection, but I think Sonic just works a lot better. And question number 4 comes from Captain Vox over on Discord. I swear you had better not be the real Vox. Are you going to update your channel's content, like talking about more game franchises, or even like doing playthroughs? I've actually tried this a few times. I talked about Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Horizon Forbidden West, Pac-Man World Repack, Multiverses, which I do want to go back and do another video on, because currently that is the most disliked video on my channel, and I do feel I was a bit too harsh on the game due to my internet connection not being great. But they did address the feedback concerning the microtransactions, so that is appreciated. Back to the point though, I try to expand where I can, and the recent Astrobot video is the perfect example of said expansion. Also, A Hat in Time is on the list, but that one's currently on hold due to the Sonic and Shadow Generation stuff I've been trying to do. As for playthroughs, I tried to save that kind of thing for the second channel, though they were no narration walkthroughs, and I couldn't manage both types of content across both channels, so I eventually gave up on them. I did try to revive that type of content with Crash Team Rumble, but it wasn't working out due to the aforementioned recording conditions. Maybe I can give it another go someday, but in the meantime, we'll have to see. And question number 5 comes from NostalgiaLodian9305 on YouTube. Actually, this is 3 questions, so I'll try to rapid fire answer them. How old are you? Haha, gonna make you guys work for this one. I'm as old as the Spyro series. What's your favorite SpongeBob season that came out after the movie? I'm guessing you mean after movie 1, and I don't want to feel like I'm cheating, so I'll stay in the pre-movie 2 range and simply say season 4. I don't think anything can compare to these piano gags. And Nostalgia's final question is, what's your favorite gaming console? Okay, I'm probably gonna have to cheat on this one, but I'm gonna give 2 answers, one for console and the other for handheld. For console, I'll say PS5. The reason for that is the ability to play games from every PlayStation console aside from the PS Vita, either through download or streaming. And of course I gotta mention the DualSense being the single best controller I've ever owned. As for handheld, it's gotta be the Switch. I have 2 Switch Lites, and it's still pretty amazing that I can take something I was just playing on my PS4 and 5 and take it with me anywhere. I still can't get over how weird that is. Not to mention, we'll finally be able to play Sonic Generations on a Nintendo console after 13 years. And question number 6 comes from SZYLish_guy0025 over on Twitter. That was, a lot more difficult to say than I thought it was gonna be. But anyway, have you ever come across a game that everyone loves, but you just couldn't seem to get into, or had a much worse experience playing it than everyone else? Okay, at first, I had a really hard time coming up with something, but after a bit I realized it was Monster Hunter. Yeah, pretty shocking. I played a bit of Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch and PS4 because the game seemed right up my alley after I platinumed both Horizon games. But then I got into the combat and I did not like how slow it felt. And then being punished for unintentionally being slow? It felt like I was playing a Soulsborne, and the closest to that, for me, was Kenna. Fantastic game, by the way. But Monster Hunter is not the game I want that feeling in. This, to me, is what turned me off of Monster Hunter, not because of a movie, which I completely forgot was a thing before this video, and no, I did not see it. But I will say the movie's monsters do look pretty good though. But because in Horizon, I at least have the ability to have fast-paced melee attacks, far-range combat, trap setting, and even multiple controllable machines that aid in combat at once. So, if I screw up, it's actually my fault and not because of a ridiculously sized weapon that no normal person could realistically hold and swing due to the weight. Heck, I even played Wild Hearts recently, and while closer to Monster Hunter in terms of feel, from what I've played of it, it even feels better than Monster Hunter. Now, I'm sort of interested in Wilds because of that longer range weapon aspect, alongside several other factors, but I don't know. I kinda need a demo to see if I change my mind, which reminds me, I still need to go play that epic Mickey Rebrush demo. And our final question of the video comes from Joker the Hedgehog X on YouTube. Sorry for the weird question, but which game franchises are your favorite, and when were you introduced to those said franchises? Okay, first off, not a weird question, and second, I'll just name off the top 3. Number 1, Sonic, number 2, Sly Cooper, and number 3, Ratchet and Clank. And thirdly, how did I get introduced to these 3? Well, I'll start with Sonic. As mentioned in previous videos already, Sonic X, back when 4Kids was a thing, is how I first got introduced to the Blue Blur. I forgot how old I was at the time, but it was a time when I would watch just about whatever cartoon was on. Alongside TMNT 2003 and Kirby Right Back At Ya, airing on 4Kids, Sonic X was also on. I fell in love with the series after just a single episode, and made sure to tune in every Saturday so I wouldn't miss a single episode. And it wasn't until years later that I got my first Sonic game with Rivals 2. Really enjoyed my time with it, and I would hope it eventually gets added added to PlayStation Plus. But anyway, I didn't find out that it was a full-blown video game series until I started seeing commercials for Generations under 4Kids' rebranding to either Toonzai or Vortex. Got me an Xbox 360 sometime afterward, and the rest is history. I've been a next-level Sonic nut ever since. As for Sly Cooper, it's not nearly as an exciting story, cause this was at a time where we would go into the nearest Walmart on a weekly basis and pick up a $20 PS2 game of my choice. Good times. I seen Sly Cooper one day, didn't see any commercials for it or anything, and I picked it up for the sake of having something new. Loved the series and its characters ever since. Ratchet and Clank, though, is an even funnier story, cause it started out as a birthday present I didn't ask for or even heard of, and I was probably about 5 or 6 when it came out, so naturally at that age I was pretty unhappy about it, but after about an hour I decided to pop it into my PS2 and give it a try. Fell in love with it before even finishing the tutorial. And that is why I don't judge a game by its cover. You never know what you're in for unless you jump in. Though it took until a year or so after the movie came out before I gained access to the rest of the series beyond the PS2 games. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for this Q&A. Thank you so much for sending in the questions. It was a pretty refreshing change of pace for me, and thank you again for getting the channel to 7,000 subscribers. It wouldn't have been possible without you guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you stay tuned for what's next. So be sure to subscribe and ring that bell for more platformer content, and once again, I've been Blue Knight. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys back here next time on the journey to 8K.